Good evening and welcome to the Top Shelf News, where we show the freshest of news on the Mirelands broadcast throughout the Great Library. I'm the camera aperture, bringing the news to you behind my anime Rambot avatar. Thank you for joining us tonight. At the dawn of the Second Turns, Queen Alexandra of the Historian Empire has declared a state of war against the New Horizons monarchy, who was already in a belligerent state with the Kordic Autonomous Empire. The Historian Empire has stayed inactive for the entirety ever since it arrived at the Mirelands, but the declaration of war at the early days of the First Turn put an end to that. Queen Alexandra in her public speech announced that the participation of her nation in the Kordic-Horizons War is to secure the Historia's southern borders and establish a buffer state between them and New Horizons. With the announcement, the war has escalated into what could possibly be a three-way war. The Queen does not provide any negotiable offers of peace, which experts suggest that Historia is planning for a prolonged conflict to carve out strategic territories. Queen Alexandria finalized her speech with a warning to the Kordic Autonomous Empire to not attack her forces so that the war can end quickly. It is unknown if this war will be fought by three sides or if two aggressors will join forces to subdue New Horizons. Historia became a subject of criticism by colonists around the Mirelands for wishing that their enemies died quickly without mercy. The majority of the younger demographic of the librarians, on the other hand, showed excitement for the escalation of the war. Continuing on the war in Rodendel, a battle in Neo Astra has unfolded in the Kordic-Horizons War. The city of Neo Astra has been under siege by a sudden attack by the Kordic Autonomous Empire for a while. The Kordic Empire began approaching the city proper near the end of the first turn. Footages of the battle that ensued show that it was fierce, but Neo Astra was defended nevertheless, with the KAE being routed from the city. Sources claim that all but 6 Kordic tanks have survived the ordeal, while half of the Neo Horizons rapid response vehicles were destroyed. High Library Guardian Craftno stated that the Kordic assault was too big to be considered as a probing attack, as it comprised the majority of their armed forces. As of the second turn, the remnants of the KAE forces have retreated back to the capital of Varangian, possibly to repair their surviving vehicles and regroup. Meanwhile, with the intervention of the Historian Empire, an air squadron has already made its move towards the port of Limensbury from the north. An armored unit was spotted moving in a searching path, snaking around the New Horizons territory. Experts speculate that a Historian air raid is the means to probe the New Horizons defenses on that city, while an armored force's movements point to scanning for enemy movements. In other news, we move to the Alternian-Rudhirian War's front, where two major battles occurred during the first turn. During its speculated objective of raiding the coal mine, the Rudhirian Saxons' Bejeweled Jack First Flight encountered the tank forces of the new Alternian Resurgence. Reports claim that the Rudhirian air fleet was severely outnumbered, and some sources claim that they were outgunned as well. Both sides have confirmed that the airships of the Bejeweled Jack were completely wiped out. On the south, the Rudhirian Saxons invasion force that has surrounded the Alternian capital of Respite has assaulted the city. However, the attack was repelled, with all attackers comprising 2 tank forces being lost. Despite these victories, the Alternian attack force retreated back to Respite. Librarian experts speculate that the battles in their capital was enough to force their commanders to focus on its defense. Likewise, the Rudhirian navy has retreated to home waters. The war has ground to a stalemate ever since. After the battle, Malach Roden of the new Alternian Resurgency issued a final warning to the Rudhirian Saxon through their newsletter, demanding once again for Rudhirian Saxon to surrender, relocate west to the 109th Meridian, and hand over its resources to the NAR. Emperor Isai of the Rudhirian Saxon responded to the warning with a no, and that the snake will smoke and the rat will scavenge. During his speech, the Emperor claimed that the forces deployed in the war were light units meant for peacekeeping amongst themselves. The speech concluded with an announcement that the nation's old arsenal of heavier equipment will be used for the war. In our other news today, the Kordic Autonomous Empire has set up a colony named Durford in the obscure continent despite the war raging in the west. A colonist in this new settlement has commented that she feels deja vu. Experts believe that the KE has set up shop in this area to make a move for the Nimium and Pygmalionic veins in this continent. And we have breaking news. This just in. A librarian experiment on portal technology has summoned in an unexpected side effect. A fleet from somewhere in the multiverse. Portals have been appearing and disappearing near the index line since the start of the first turn. But earlier in the start of the second turn, one of the portals had appeared on the south of Galatea Island, brought in a fleet of ships of various shapes and sizes into the Mirelands. High Scribe Hilarious announced that the fleet was an unexpected side effect from an experiment the librarians were performing for the Mirelands project. He has also placed a bounty for the Outworlders to destroy this fleet for the experiment to conclude and be implemented for the project. As of now, the fleet has headed east towards Lincoln. Their motives are still unknown, although the most recent recon photos suggest that the fleet is comprised of warships, meaning that the Outworlders will have to be cautious when approaching them. We will be following the stories of this unknown fleet and the two wars as they progress. Updates of the situation will be continued in the Top Shelf's news official live snap or other social media platforms. And that's all for tonight. For everyone at the news desk, my name is the Camera Avatar. Have a safe night.